All right, Wolf Bear Records is here with Deadbox. How are y'all doing today?
Great.
How you doing?
Yeah, we're doing
So
awesome.
tell me a little bit about your band.
How long you been
How
together?
long we've been together? Let's start with that. It's been what, about 35, 40 years now?
No, what,
Looking at
about
couple-
3 years?
3 years, give or take.
3 years.
3 years, about a year and a half with Victor. We got him halfway through.
Right. He's got the second best half.
Yeah.
We always say the second best.
But,
And yeah, obviously other bands we've all been in and out, you know what I mean?
yeah, like Victor and I are in a cover band together.
Yeah, which we can't enclose that name. We can't put the name out.
Yeah, well, we just want
Copyrighted infringements, you know.
So where are you guys from?
different places.
Initially, yeah.
Originally, I'm from this area. I'm from a little town, an ag town, farming community called Deming, New Mexico. If you've ever driven to California, you probably stopped and took a leak there because that's all. Yeah.
It's at least worth that.
But and Victor,
I'm from here.
he's from
Las
here.
Cruces. The band's based in Las Cruces right now.
Right, that's where our actual base is, you know. Originally, I'm from Florida. I grew up in South Florida, so got to do the music scene out there for a bit. It was pretty kicking, especially back in the 80s and 90s, you know, as in 90s and stuff. And this guy here, he's the Las Cruces.
Oh, yeah,
so
been here.
Southwest.
Yeah.
Been doing stuff with him too before, you know,
all of us
jamming
have
and all,
different little
yeah,
things here.
little sided stuff.
That these two they share a DNA.
Common interest.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is my dad.
Yeah, that's nice.
I mean, no, you're my
Yeah,
son.
you.
Like that. We got a couple family members. We're all family anyways, no matter what. We're all brothers.
Yeah, I went to high school with Dennis's younger brother. We used to get really drunk.
Which we knew each other back then and never got
Yeah.
together for some reason. I had another band.
I was in
going on
another band,
back, and
yeah.
that was about 20 years ago almost.
Yeah.
Pretty close too. 90s.
Not 20 years. When I was 9, that's when this happened. 20 years. Yeah, he's damn
We don't want to reveal our age totally. You know? But hey,
Stay on the age.
Okay, so introduce yourselves.
Start with that guy right
Alright,
there.
so yeah.
Man.
My name's Steven. I am the drummer.
my name is Dennis. I play the bass.
My name is Victor. I'm the guitarist.
I'm Ernie. I play mandolin, a little cello. I sing a little too, mostly sing. They took away my cello.
No more cello.
No more, yeah, so we can-
No more cello for this fellow.
Nah.
That's what we get for
He needs to scoot over. His face is cut off.
that.
But
Come on, man. It's okay. You won't break the camera this time.
No,
You
I
won't.
like this time.
No,
I'm sorry, I barely got-
That only happened once.
I'm
I'm
leaning.
gonna headlock him.
I'm
I'll get
leaning.
him to the headlock.
I'll lean this
I'll
way.
do it, dude.
Dude, I just have to
Lean.
pretend I'm the driver.
All right.
I'm afraid to catch what I have.
There we go.
This is our couch.
Yeah, I don't want to get his face herpes, man.
No one wants to get that.
So he's that's why he's still wearing the mask.
Yeah, keep it on, please. I was
Yeah,
still
don't-
itching.
I told him, man, don't go.
I had a rash and it just wouldn't go
Dude.
away.
You shouldn't. Don't go to the cheap establishment in Juarez, man. You come back with that shit.
Yeah, anyway, that's another story.
So how did you come up with the name Deadbox?
They did. I'm not allowed to name bands anymore.
Man, we got in trouble for that.
Since 2008.
How did we get? We got it off a horror movie actually. It
Yeah.
was, what was that movie called?
Laid to Rest. Yeah.
It's called Laid to Rest. It's cool. I don't know if you're into horror flicks or anything like that, but really kind of a cool old school.
Yeah, old
Yeah.
school 80s feel.
Old age. And the
Yeah.
guy mentioned basically being killed, put into this dead box. Like, that sounds kind of cool. Dead box, coffin.
The word for coffin.
Yeah, word for coffin. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
why not?
Like when we play out, we try to all dress like morticians, all in black and
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's get off there.
Got the goth look, huh?
Drum roll, please.
No, I
Drum roll.
wear, I just wear free t-shirts, that's all I wear to concerts. You know, I'll wear a Subway one, whatever, you know, anything I can get for
Whatever you
free.
can get for free.
Yeah.
We'll advertise.
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So how long you guys been, is this something you guys want to do since you were kids or?
Oh, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
oh, yeah.
I think so. I think all of us, yeah, it's just
Yeah,
kind of one of those things.
I mean, Dennis has been real successful in his beginning music career. I had a little success with another band back in the 90s. We were just a cover band, but we got picked up and we got a booking agent and just had gigs all the time. It was great. I quit my job to play music, and then life happened, and the same thing happened to Dennis. He was up on his
Yeah.
way, and
Things change. It's very hard, very, fickle
Yeah.
business, you know, it
Oh,
is. It's
yeah.
very, very, here today, gone tomorrow kind of thing. It's definitely not allowed. Very rare do you have really, especially in today's time. And you look at it like today, music has so changed since the 80s, of course, even the 90s. With the internet, basically I like to look at it as really as a double-edged sword. You know what I mean by that? It's like, it's great. Sure, you got guys today, you could be anywhere out there and have your stuff put all over where you couldn't have done that before. But the other side of the sword is now it's so saturated. You're like a little tiny fish now in this big pond of fishes, and it makes it,
but it's cool to explore and discover new music.
right.
I mean,
it gives you opportunity at least.
I'm a music fan first and foremost. I mean, I love playing. I'm a musician, of course, but man, I just love. Music is every part of my life. It has music. You know, I'm at home. I'm listening to music, and I like listening to new stuff that, I try to discover something for my ears and like, wow, these guys are really good. And I just hope to make the right song, and maybe somebody says the same thing about us. That's
Nice.
about it.
Yeah.
Maybe Kelly Clarkson will pay to sing one of our songs, man. No, I have some friends that they're a band called Aranda. They're from Oklahoma. And that's what happened to them. She liked one of their songs, and that's how they were able to book real studio time after that. And, they got signed. They didn't blow up, but
Yeah,
It's
it's
pretty cool.
opportunity. I look at it like that. Yeah,
but
every
those
day
guys
is an
have
opportunity.
opened for Ozzy, so I think
You're just
if I get to open
successful.
for Ozzy, I'm gonna call
You
it.
feel pretty good.
I call it a day.
Feel pretty good about that.
That'd be
Not bad at all. But it's opportunity. Every if you're out there and you are putting your stuff out there, you might not go further than your own hometown. You might only get as a local, but at least you have the opportunity. I will give it that. I said it's very fierce competition now because everybody can do it. And, as far as everything else goes, even like recording now, you don't have to go to a studio like you did back in the day. Anybody out of their own home can have a recording studio.
Right, exactly.
Put your stuff out pretty professional.
Your own bedroom.
Yeah, in your own bedroom, and you got there's a lot of opportunities, but competition is fierce. It is.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of great bands out there.
We record everything right there
Yeah, we record everything here. At a
with that desktop and toilet paper rolls.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
As best you don't.
Nah,
That was a.
I don't want to know. Surprising you can find toilet paper.
That's true. If I could find toilet paper.
Yeah, especially in today's time. With Corona.
So, I ask you a question. You're in, are you near Galveston?
Close, yes.
Close? Okay. I've been out that way, but I can't remember all there's so many little towns and Texas has so many small little towns. I love Texas.
Yeah, we love the South. It's nice out in the Southwest. And here in Las Cruces, I don't know if you've ever been this way in New Mexico yourself, but it's not too bad of a location we've talked about because if you head out, go west from where we are, you have Arizona, which you have Tucson, of course, Phoenix. Even if you want to go a little further, Cali, of course. But and we head north, we have like Albuquerque, you have cities in like Colorado, Denver, Colorado Springs. We can head out, and then head out east again. We were looking at El Paso, is a pretty big city.
That's just a Yeah, Stone
Growing-
throws away.
Yeah, man, it's right there. It's our neighbor city, really. I mean, El Paso is considered our sister city. You know, it's just the way it is.
So now you guys have toured a lot?
We've played El Paso mostly.
Yeah.
We haven't, we've played locally and then we've gone to El Paso and played.
Yeah, we need to make that, out. Well, once all the, you know, of course, what's
But-
going on right now, it's difficult now with the,
No, a friend of mine manages a bar in Tucson and he's like, dude, you guys come out here, we'll get you out here.
yeah, we'll try some of those locations and see how they go for us, you know. So,
So has that slowed down your getting your music and playing in places?
Well, gigging, absolutely.
especially live, yeah, live definitely. I mean, it just
Gigging for
has.
sure. We had a gig and it was gonna be our first gig in a while and
And it got
it
canceled.
got canceled
Yeah.
like 3 days before the
Right.
governor shut the whole damn state down.
You know, they go for this close downs, they'll open us up again when it looks good, and boom, they close you right back down.
Yeah, but
The governor heard that we were gonna play and shit. and none of that.
Yeah, they heard we were gonna play, and they really closed it down, they were saying, that's it,
They're like,
man.
no.
Closing the state down.
well,
Nah, it's what it is.
the
It's what it
governor
is.
ordering us to stop, it wouldn't have been the first time.
Yeah. But we're recording, we are recording,
Yeah.
we are keeping that going, we're keeping
We're
the
writing.
music going, writing all the
Definitely writing
time.
a lot of stuff, yeah.
Non-stop.
So we don't wanna stop. We
Yeah,
just don't.
beginning of pandemic, it was like 8 or 9 songs. End of pandemic, it's like 89 songs.
Yeah.
You know.
It's giving us time to get a lot more tighter, more precise.
Yeah, too.
It does, you know, it really, in some ways, like I always say, you gotta take sometimes the worst and make the best out of it, and take the good out of it. I think that's kind of what we've done, you know, we've gotten like, you know, like you said, we've gotten tighter, we working on little things that we normally wouldn't work on, because we would be out there doing the live stuff.
Yeah.
So it's awesome, it gives us a chance to work on new stuff, and, you know, we gotta take advantage of it, right? I mean, we gotta do something positive through all this, it's
Yeah.
been bad enough, 2020 is horrible as it is,
Yeah.
you know, and
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
been bad, but we'll see.
Yeah.
We're looking for 2021, man, it's right around the corner, and I do feel things are gonna get better, you know.
I already got concert tickets to my next concert, man.
That's right.
Rock Fest in Wisconsin.
Playing
Oh, Wisconsin? I got my
Yeah,
ass kicked
in
in
July,
Wisconsin once.
July 14th to the
There,
17th.
man.
Oh, yeah.
You got Queensryche, Disturbed, Korn. There's a bunch of bands. Like all the 182s, 187s. I don't know all the. But yeah, it's just a bunch of music.
Happening, yeah, it's happening everywhere too. Even in
4
Brazil,
days.
I know Knockfest is gonna be in Brazil coming up in 2020 here, yeah. Megadeth, I think, is gonna be doing theirs too. So it kind of shows hope. If these guys are gonna start doing this and you're seeing this, you know there's gonna be something positive coming around the corner, you know.
Yep.
So
Oh, I leaned the wrong way.
don't lean that way.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you get cut off when you go that way. I was gonna tell you you're getting out of the picture
I'm gonna
again.
get a rope. I'm just gonna get a rope. I'm gonna put the rope around. We're just gonna just, yeah.
We don't wanna see what's happening behind the scenes.
Yeah, you don't.
Yeah.
Keep them.
You don't need to see how to make the sauce.
You don't need to see
Yeah,
that. You don't want how they make the sausage.
Oh, no.
Don't want to know. Anyway.
So who are some of your influences?
Now that's where it gets a little.
Where-
interesting.
It does.
Because yeah, I'm probably I have like a country background. That's what I grew up listening to is country. And then I got into metal and like Black Sabbath and Iron Maiden. I liked Led Zeppelin was one of the first rock bands I ever heard, besides the Beatles. And you know the Beatles and the Eagles, but they weren't Zeppelin. And I love that. I love the old Judas Priest, Motorhead, and Ozzy Osbourne without Black Sabbath, and just shoot. Now there's a lot of good guys out there now, but all my favorite artists and bands are from the '80s. Like my favorite guitar players, probably Tony McAlpine, who is a shredder, but he's still out there touring and he's going to clubs and getting paid to play music. And you might, and a lot of people have never heard of him, but he's got a small faithful base.
Yeah,
That's cool.
I'm pulling right here.
Oh, man,
Don't
I
you dare
gotta
go out of the picture. Telling you now.
Told you to pull that thing further back.
And we got you, I
Oh,
would put you more definitely in the metal. You're pretty
yeah,
straight
I mean,
up.
grew up listening to thrash, then worked my way to death metal when it came out, black metal. Sort of got burnt out, just too much heaviness after a while. And now I'm obsessed with the new wave of British heavy metal. Bands like Saxon, Angel Witch, Diamond Head.
The old 80s.
Yeah, Metallica
Old
looks
straight
like
up
all those
80s
groups
metal.
and everything.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
man.
where,
And that's
that's
where
where
that
I'm at
comes
right
from,
now,
man.
yeah.
That's cool stuff too, man. And me too. I mean, I'll take a little bit from both of these guys too. I like both. I mean, like Ernie was saying, honestly, you can't beat the old stuff. I mean, when I grew up hearing Kiss, to me,
Yeah.
Alice Cooper, these guys. And what I loved about those guys, not only really they were musicians, but great entertainers. I
Right.
mean, me as a kid, I mean, I was born, I won't tell you what, I was born in I'll tell you the whole year I was born here, but yeah, I was a little kid, let's put it that way. And when I first saw Kiss Alive 2, I see this album, there's this demon, basically Gene Simmons, and he's got blood just, dripping. I'm already into like, I love horror movies like we were talking earlier. And it just attracted me, it was instant, like, that's what I want to do, It was never like a plan B that never was like, I want to be a lawyer or a doctor. No, it was, I want to have, like this guy, Anyways, Alice Cooper, same thing. And, and as time goes, of course, you kind of change into different things. Again, you start to listen to different. I mean, I even got to the point where I was not just following metal anymore. Of course, we progressed to like, Ernie was saying, Iron Maiden, and then you have like Metallica, and then you have, like the big four, those thrash bands. But then I just realized there's other such great stuff out there. So I started getting into even like jazz, funk, something that was just a little different, but
Right.
yet still great musicians. If you listen to some jazz musicians, some of these guys will just blow you away. Again, great guitarists, great bass players. And being a bass player as myself, I love the bass. And a lot of jazz is geared around the bass. The bass plays an important role. We're not just talking, pumping single notes out just to fill the song. It actually had an intricate part of the song itself. So, and we got this youngin right here.
Me,
Got his
honestly,
own-
yeah, I got a lot of influences from him, because, he's my dad, and
Forced it on him.
yeah, oh yeah, but no, and I love it.
Gonna lose.
A lot of the metal, a lot of old 80s, like he was saying, a lot of bands, and a lot of bands, of course, the new metal I do like as well. Some of it, like Avenged, of course, a lot of the Disturbed, and a lot of jazz too, because he loves the jazz, and he's influenced that on me as well. And jazz, especially for drums, like he was saying, bass, it's very intricate. So it kind of helps me keep up with a lot of the stuff,
Yeah. As I said, nothing wrong with steal. I always had this theory too. I always said,
Yeah, steal from everything.
Yeah, steal from everything.
Yeah.
Steal from everything and develop your own style. It's kind of like, it's almost no different if you're cooking. You put a little spice of this, a little spice of that, a little this, and then you make this mixture. It has to be the right spices sometimes. And that's what's so important, I think, about a band. Because no matter what, I mean, you look at it this way. If you listen to a certain band, if everybody really is influenced within the same influence, you're pretty much going to have the same sound. It's just not going to be pretty much leeway in there. In other words, you're not going to have a lot of wiggle room to do a lot of different things with your music, right? You're kind of pigeonholed into this tight little space, and that's it. You have a lot of different influences, and you have more of an open mind to allow some of that to come through in your music. To me, you can move around so much more. You have more options to go with your music, and you're not going to always sound the same. You know what I mean?
There's another thing that I noticed too. In the 80s and 90s, you always had a lot more guitar solos. And now you don't really have that much.
No.
Exactly. Or how about even drums? Drum solos back in the day
Too,
too,
yeah.
like that were a big,
They were
big
very
thing too.
popular.
And you don't see that as
Because
much.
they used to even put those in the actual albums, and now you don't even have that. It's if you don't go to a live concert, you don't get it.
I miss
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
and I really
I know
do
what you
miss
mean.
that though. That was kind of a cool part of that era. You know what I mean? It really was, and it would be nice to kind of see that again. You know what I mean? I really do. Some of those guys that did the best were again from back in that era. Like look at Zeppelin. Bonzo. I mean, that guy played some incredible stuff back then. Those solos he did, like Moby Dick and those. He just awesome.
Look at
stuff.
Joe Satriani.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Same thing. Awesome. Awesome, man. I mean, just wow. But again, like we say, music does change though. It never stays the same. It is something that has to. They always say that old saying, you want to see some new trend happening in the music business? Wait 5 minutes.
That's true.
Yeah, you know, and sometimes you don't know what people are gonna really be into it at this point in time.
Well, see, now the new thing with music is they don't really want to put out a whole album anymore. It's either singles or EPs.
A
Yeah.
lot of that
Thanks
too.
to the internet. See, now what we just talked earlier, say thanks, because that has a lot to do with the internet now. You
Right.
can upload these single songs onto Spotify. Like we have our stuff on Spotify and Amazon that too. So we just do singles. We don't have our full complete album that we put out there.
Well,
So
that in today's generation, the attention span's short. They don't want to sit there and listen to a whole album. They just rather hear what they hear on the radio, and that's
Yeah.
Yep, you hit the nail on the head. That's exactly. Yeah,
I'm just using this to further my career as a mumble rapper, so I'm gonna get that, I'm gonna get it down,
You
man.
didn't get it down now. But I do miss, I'll be honest, like I said, I miss the old days of getting an album, right?
Yeah.
Taking the album home and just looking at it. I love the artwork that you had you produced. It
Right.
was like a book almost, you know. I mean, I miss all that, and but you can't stay in the past. You got to keep moving forward. That's, you know, you always got to adapt. That's the key. If you can't adapt, you kind of fall behind and you kind of lose.
Right.
it.
Well, I mean, that's how the music business started. It started like it is now. They used to sell the little 45s, you know, and you'd have the one side and the B side. They really didn't make albums back in the 50s and early 60s until like the Beatles came around and they started putting out. Because I have a bunch of I inherited
I
a
had some
bunch of
45s. I
45s
still have some 45s.
from my grandmother. They were all my uncle. My dad had he had a bunch of brothers, so but they all love music, and I have this big thing, and it's all 40. I was like, golly, Buddy Holly never put out an album.
45, man. That's
Yeah.
right.
What
And you always think little jukeboxes, you know.
What was that?
What program do you use to record your songs?
Oh, Ableton.
Ableton, yeah.
Yeah, Ableton. Yeah, and we run it. You know, we pretty much we'll run it in certain ways where we'll have our own tracks. We'll come in and do them. You know, usually what I like to do is we'll try to make a dummy track. You know, get everybody in at one time and just go over all the songs, make sure it's what we want, we do it, and then later on each person we come back and just do our parts and get them to where we want them and stuff. And eventually we do want to go somewhere. We've talked about going to a studio and
Yeah.
we'll eventually go. We need to find somebody we're all on the same page, of course, because you know how that works when you're talking, looking for an engineer or somebody to really do your stuff. You want somebody on the same page.
You need somebody to give you a good mix.
Yeah, they have to know what you're really looking for, and it's kind of sometimes it's hard to get that back and
Get that out
forth.
of it,
Yeah, and everybody.
See, a lot of people use Logic Pro.
Yeah.
Logic, yeah.
That's one for Mac. If people are Mac users, that's the one they usually
And
use.
Pro Tools too is still pretty, Pro Tools.
Yeah, Pro Tools.
I have a Cubase and Cakewalk, but I never mess with, so I'm starting to mess with them. Of course, I have a Mac as well, but I only use GarageBand on it, which is.
Well, Ableton is good. Well, what's really good about Ableton too is it's actually great for also live performances. Matter of fact, a lot of DJs and stuff like that, mixers will use that and go live with it because literally Ableton Live is what the name, so it goes to that. And again, like I said, here you go again, talking about today's time. You get a one-man band, you know what I mean? If you have these programs, you can go out there all by yourself
Right.
with your laptops, and there you go. You got everything. You program your bass, your guitar, your keys, your synths, your vocals, have everything pre-done. That's it. So again, makes things opportunity where you didn't have it back in the day. Now you do. But
All right, I got a question for you. Each one of you got to answer. Out of all songs that you guys have done, what's your favorite?
For this band?
wow.
Yeah.
You want an individual from each, or just all of us pick literally? One?
No, individual.
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 Hey, Stevie goes first.
Probably would have to be, honestly, we have the song called Dark Clouds, and it's got a lot of
One of our last recordings.
yeah, it's actually one of our last ones. Yeah, and it's got a lot of the dynamics to it, and it's that's pretty much one of my faves. Yeah.
For me, I don't know, man. Again, there's quite a few of them. Probably could, maybe we have a song called Corporal Punishment. Maybe that one, and mainly just because, I don't know, it was one of our first kind of sort of movie. Yeah, kind of like an overall, I'm looking at, I mean, if I had to give you like an overall sound, like give you a song, this would maybe kind of describe us to a point. Because, yeah, we have some songs that are a little bit softer, a little bit, maybe a little more, and, but I would probably go with that.
Mine's is probably Written Stone, probably because that's where I sold one. But yeah, it's a good song. I like
That's a good
that
song,
song.
that's a really good one.
Well, we got some new ones. You got
And
solos
we got the
coming up.
news too. I was just thinking the old, just because it was like an
Yeah.
original, at first.
Yeah, I think my favorite is one we got. It's called Tin Can Man. I just like that one. I like the how it goes.
Yeah.
It's got a nice groove and feel.
That's a good song.
Yeah.
And that's the thing again, we at least can all kind of have
You get the
because
right-
of the reasons, but
Yeah.
and that's even like again that too, to even try to describe who we are. If you would even ask us, well, let me ask you, okay, you've heard some of our stuff. What would you actually call us? This is something we like to ask people a lot, just to get, what would you call us? A rock band, a hard rock band, a metal band,
Probably like a mixture between a rock and a hard rock.
rock and hard rock? See, that's good. That's good. We always do that.
That's
Me and you
better than
always-
Hard Place.
me and you- Go there. But, yeah. So yeah, the hard, and that's the thing is it's funny because when you ask certain things, it's so weird. You can go to certain bands like if I was to ask you who created the first real metal band, this was always another big issue we always talk about.
Oh yeah.
I would personally say Black Sabbath. I'd call it the first technical hard rock metal band.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go.
That's the one that I've always known.
Yeah, I would say,
Yeah.
So we always try to categorize it, where are we? We're a hard rock band. We've been called a rock band. We've even been called metal to some degree. Because what's metal too? You have to ask again. Is it stuff like the Scorpions? Is it bands like that? Is it bands again like Black Sabbath, Deep Purple? Could they be considered metal? How about Ozzy Osbourne? Would you consider that?
I would say you guys are more like Scorpions, maybe
It could be that. Put in
closer
there.
to the Scorpions out of that bunch. I don't think you're like super hard, but not like super soft either. You know what I mean?
Right. See, it's a weird. That's not. We're at the weird. We're right on the edge. Right on the fence to
I
where
just want to be
we
made
go
of
this
more-
side or that side.
You,
Like we
guys,
can take a turn either way.
you made your own genre.
I just want to be made in.
How about groove?
Taiwan.
Made in Taiwan.
Yeah.
Glad you said that instead of China.
Right. Don't say it.
What?
Yeah. Just don't say. Never mind.
I recognize Taiwan.
Yeah. Well.
Free Tibet.
Well, especially for where we live around here, where we try to gig, we market ourselves as hard rock. If you market yourself as, even with the word metal in it, nobody wants to hear that. They don't want to sign you or anything, but
Yeah.
hard rock, it's easier to get gigs around here.
Yeah.
It's a better bill
Yeah.
for sure.
They say you're a rock. They say a hard rock band. They just hear rock. So
You're
a rock
okay.
band. Yeah, rock bands here all the time.
Mhm.
Then you go play, and then all your friends show up and steal their glasses.
Yeah.
Stab a bouncer.
Yeah, right. No, not good, so,
Yeah.
yeah.
If Dennis had friends.
If I had- if I had.
So how other than the obviously the obvious how has COVID affected you?
Well, we got a little rusty. We didn't, that first maybe 4 or 5 months, was it about 5 months?
We went about a good 5 months. We
Yeah,
really
it
just
was from
decided
like,
to
it was
quarantine
from,
ourselves.
our last gig was on like March 6th or something, and that very next week is when everything went down. So there was actually a gig that this buddy of mine was trying to get us to do on the 22nd of March, and it got canceled. So everything got canceled. We didn't even rehearse till September.
Right.
And then in September, we started rehearsing regularly and
Back to.
back
we
to
were
this.
pretty
so
back to, yeah,
Yeah.
normal,
We're-
which is great.
Ripping the rust off.
We're almost back to
Not too
fight.
bad.
We're almost back to fighting weight. We'll be in there in a little bit.
Yeah. Again, like we said, it did help us a little bit though, because we really did get to work on stuff that we normally wouldn't have, we wouldn't have had as much time for all of us. And And I think what was good is even though we didn't do anything for a while, each one of us were doing our own thing, which kept it going. We all
Yeah.
had our own practices, of course, at home. I mean,
Yeah, I was playing a lot of guitar and
yeah.
singing in all this off time.
Yeah, and we were able, just to get together and, again, come together with new stuff that, started now putting together. So it kind of served the purpose in a way,
Yeah.
It took some bad and made some good out of it, Well,
All right, so where can people find your stuff at?
We're on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube. They could subscribe to the videos. We post new stuff as often as we can. That's on YouTube. You just look up Deadbox.
Right.
And then on Facebook, we're Deadbox. We don't have a web page. We're just all over social media.
Social, and then Spotify too as well. Yeah,
Spotify.
Spotify, Amazon Music, we're on there, Deezer, all the streaming.
And then we're not on Twitter, huh?
We have Twitter too, actually. Yeah. we're on
Oh,
Twitter.
you follow
We
me
just haven't
on
been
Twitter.
tweeting a lot lately.
Oh,
The
let's
tweets have been
tweet.
very quiet lately.
Let's tweet.
Dude, let's Speed it up.
I want to go up to 7 followers on
We're
Twitter.
gonna build up to 7.
Okay.
Yeah, 7 strong.
I've been fighting Twitter for a bunch. I just got Twitter a few months ago, so I like it though. I love watching people talk shit. It's the funniest thing. It's so funny what people get upset about. Just
Oh, I
turn
know.
volume on your radio up and keep rocking, man.
Rock.
Don't get upset.
Don't get upset, man. Just need to- gotta
All right,
rock.
anything else you want to add?
No, thank you again.
Yeah, we wanted that
Yeah,
one.
yeah,
Thank you.
thank
That
you.
one, yeah, the opportunity, again, see,
Definitely.
opportunity, man. We appreciate that. We really do.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It really is awesome.
We'll next gig we'll send you a shout out to. It's Wolf Ver or Vaer?
You said it right the first time. Ver.
Wolf Ver? Okay.
Wolf there. Right?
Where does that name come from? The Ver, is it a German
Mm, I
or
think
Russian? German?
Wow.
What does Ver mean?
the last name.
Just a name? Oh, okay. Ver?
Wow.
Okay.
That's cool.
Yeah, I
It
like
sounds
it.
cool.
Yeah,
I
it
like
does.
that. That's cool. Yeah. Well, again, we thank you. That's awesome, man.
Yeah,
This is,
100%.
yeah, we definitely like it. We can, again, we can, even if again, we can, reach a few people, man. If there's a few people out there that really like our stuff, that's cool, man.
That's all that matters.
Yeah,
all matters, you know
we'll
what I mean?
share and subscribe and tell our friends to share and subscribe
Yes.
as well to
Yes.
Wolf there.
Definitely.
I just started 2 weeks ago, so
All right.
Oh,
on.
that's good.
Oh, okay. Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Right on.
Thanks for.
but I've been putting out an interview every day.
Oh, good.
Oh, wow.
Cool.
Keep it going, man. Keep
Yeah.
it going. Heck, that's it. That's awesome. Well,
You have a good holiday season, Hanukkah, Christmas, all of it.
this,
Let's-
that, and the other thing.
Happy New Year.
Whatever you're celebrating.
Yeah, you as well. Y'all have a good
Mhm.
Christmas and New Year's and
All
It's
right.
gonna be a good year, man. We'll come out with this next year.
It's gonna
It's
be
gonna
better.
kick ass,
Yep,
man.
it's gonna be
definitely have to do another one next year.
That sounds
Always
great.
down.
Yeah.
Yes, and this time I'll be better prepared, I think. A little unorganized, but we got there. That's the main thing.
Oh, yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining.
Thank you.
All right,
Take care.
thank
Thank you.
All right, we'll catch you later.
Later.
All righty, bye-bye.
Have a good one.